Hello everyone. Let me just see if this comes up. Aha. Okay. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Hello, hello, hello. Fingers crossed this works. Just trying the system on my laptop. Not always guaranteed to work, as I'm sure you all know. Aha. And it works perfectly. Look at that. Beautiful. There we go. Hello everyone. We are live. So this is what we did last week with our shaker card inside. What happened then? Oh dear. Okay, it's coming out right on the screen. It's just my phone. So this is what we did on, what's it called? Last week. And this week I thought we might actually do some really wet activity. Really wet. 1 minute. Really wet techniques. Hello, Di and Tash and Diane and Diana. We're gonna do some really wet techniques. Normally, I accidentally leave these for the middle of winter when I start thinking of them to do them, but no. We're gonna do them in summer when they dry quick and they work amazing. Because there's multiple classes that I have had to rewatch during our upgrade in the back end of our website, going like, why didn't I do this in summer? Like, perfect weather to do wet techniques, and didn't do it. But first, before we get the paints out, I would like to show you these. Now, this is our Christmas mascot, yet to be named, because my mum didn't like my naming suggestions. To be fair, they were all quite funny and a bit ridiculous. And I won't say them because, yeah, they weren't good. I'll admit to that one. Hello, minis. So, this is the gift you get tomorrow if you spend over $50 with the code that is given to you if you're an insider on the insiders list. Now, if you're not a part of the insiders list, you can just go to our website on the top tabs or in your little burger on the side of your phone. When you click it, there's a tab that says the insiders list. Click that, or join the insiders. Click that. It's type in your email and you become part of our advent. And you get exclusive access and early access to a whole bunch of our events coming up. So yes, this is for insiders. Look how cute he is. So if you do join tonight, you will get the coupon tomorrow. This is only for insiders, isn't it?
Tomorrow, yep.
Yes, only for insiders. So definitely join that list because he is cute, and we're not making these public.
They're going to the vault. They're in the vault already.
They're going to the vault, so we have to. They're not a for sale item. Mr. Cute Koala is not for sale. You do have name suggestions because Mum and Dad are in Rockhampton tomorrow. So if you do have name suggestions, just let us know because us kids are running the socials. And I have a little bit more guts when my parents aren't there to see the full effect of my reels. I don't know if you all have seen the dance reels that Nora and I did when Mum and Dad weren't at the shop. And then we just posted them over the weekend while they were busy. Easy stuff. But yes, they are very cute koalas. Hello, Raquel and Chloe and everyone who I haven't said hello to. I'm very sorry. I'm looking across like 3 devices right now because I'm trying to do this as an independent person. I'm starting to think like this might have been a nut job idea. Anyway, who's who for knowing? So let's come in and get our trusty gel medium tub that we're just going to slide underneath there to get our drippies on, because we are doing wet techniques, and I've decided tonight, I was very decisive before class, that I'm going to use fluoros and dimensional acrylic paints. You'll notice that I don't use oils during my class because they don't dry quick enough for me, and it's a little bit like there's a lot of safety involved. I don't have that in me. It has rained. It rained a fair bit over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Well, mostly Saturday, a little bit on Sunday, and a bit this morning and a bit this afternoon, but not constant, so it's not too bad. Okay, so let's come in. Put dimensional yellow. And then let's put our fluoro yellow down. And what we're going to do is we're going to do one color of our color wheel at a time, because I actually want these colors to kind of stay their own self. I don't want them to mix with the other ones too much. I just want to see if there's any difference between these two fluoro yellows. There's about a 5-year difference between when we bought them, because Noah started to become really interested in fluoro painting. Nope, it's dry. Okay. Well, not dry. It's empty. Yes, better than nothing, although I don't think it did much for cooling down. So let's come in now. This is set on cat spraying setting. Very helpful for art. Not. I might actually have to turn it this way for ease. You can still see a fair amount of it. So let's come in, wet these to the hill. Like, this would definitely dry during winter. Not. My spritzer bottle, I have put a lot of paint in over the years, so it is a little bit like not willing to do this. So let's come in, get that one in there. Spread out the paint with our fan brush. And look at that. And then I'm just going to come and dab it, because it does have a little bit of the gloppy glues, the dimensional. I want to see if the dimensional's any different. I did have to add a bit more water than usual to move them. I think the fluoros and dimensional acrylic paints tend to be a heavier pigment. So they tend to be a lot heavy in body. So to actually move them takes a lot more water. Your paintbrush actually does have to be a smidge wet if you want to spread it around a bit. So like acrylic, where you can just add it on and spread if you want. You can definitely do this on a canvas. I think I have done it on a canvas before. Just coming in. We're going to get rid of the glumps while we're at it. And there we go. It has nearly fully dried. And as you can see, once it dries, you've got like this very faint yellow here, which is quite cool. But we would never have saw that if we waited in winter because it takes extra long for things to dry. So let's flip it up the other way now. And just put it in its side saddle. Let's come and put some fluoro, dry ring, fluoro pink. Some fluoro magenta. Yes, you can definitely do it on a canvas, this bit. Like any technique, you can transfer it from text. Any technique you transfer it from art journal to canvas, canvas to art journal. It's just up to you. I technically nearly always forget to paint the sides of my canvases. I do think it's a common thing that artists do forget. So, you know, positive thinking there. Not really. It's just an excuse. Olive. Right, so spread that one out. Oh, there's definitely a difference in colour there. Wasn't expecting. So these are our fluoros. They look a little bit different on the screen than what they do in the book. And you will see that in the final photo that we put up tomorrow morning. The thing with the fluoros is that we are now going to be able to do a lot more classes with fluoro paint because our recording devices, my phone has been upgraded in particular. Older phone cameras weren't really able to capture any fluoro color very well, so we avoided them, but we'll have a lot more things to experiment with now because of that change and upgrade. So I'm just coming in. I'm actually using a paintbrush that has been killed because it hasn't been washed out correctly, just to make some little candy strap lines, I think you could call them. And our paint. And then if we just come and dry that one. So this is upside down currently. So this is how the book actually does look. See? Coming in, drying it with a heat tool. There we go. And then we come in and add the dimensional violet and blue here. Oh dear. The lid landed in the paint. Oopsie daisies. Let's just clean that off. Right onto the fingers. Right, so let's start with the purple first. So as you can see, that does bleed out color when we spray it, but the paint actually doesn't move because it's a dimensional paint. So it's a thick acrylic. It's nearly like a heavy body. If you've used any golden type paints, very much like it. However, it does have, when it dries, it does stay a bit it always stays a bit dimensional, whereas I do know with heavy bodies, if you do push them far enough, they lose that dimensionality. So I do know that from experience. I have had plenty of experience, and I'm not afraid of covering my yellow fluoro because it's actually going to come through the purple paint like it does with any paint. So if you paint fluoro on the bottom and then you put like a liquid format of paint over top, say watercolor, any acrylic paint that's got a bit of water in it, the yellow actually comes to the top. Whereas down here, see how when we first touched it was just pure paint, no water? So it doesn't come fully to the top, but you can still see it quite clearly. It's this one here. Yep, see, look, comes fully to the top. Right, and then let's come in with the blue now. I am going to smoosh it just a bit more, and I'm going to put some over here as well, just because I did accidentally hit it with a little bit of the heat tool. I tried to avoid the blue paint when I was using the heat tool, but it's a bit hard. Like, let's be frank here. It's not the easiest thing to do. Okay, and then let's come in. Just dry it a bit. Right, and we're just going to let the little bit those dry just a little bit more. And I think what we're going to go over now is we're actually going to go over, well, we've got this here because, you know, we've got a fair amount of paint here. We can actually, I can show you the journaling pens. We don't often do them because our pages aren't dry enough, but this one here is because it's summer. See the joys of hot weather coming through for us. So I've grabbed a few of Mum's juice ups, just a few. They're a 0.4 mil journaling pen. We sell them pretty much nearly in every color. But let me just come through and show you something. So let's heat this just a little bit more. Actually, while that dries, we'll come and do this section with the darker one. So they're quite nice and easy to use. Let's use the black, making sure this is the one that works. Yes, we have one that doesn't always work. So let's say we come in and we choose to follow the lines, or say we choose to draw like grass into some of our lines here. Or we come in and we go, let's outline all of these. Now you can do this. No questions, no problems, no nothing. See? Automatically rocks up. You just have to make sure your paint's dry and give it a bit of dimension. You can also come in and see these, like the candy strips here. We can actually make them look a little bit more bold from far away. If we add some lines to it, see? You can see that a little bit better. You want to be able to tell from far away, like here. You can't see the actual lines, but you can see that divot a lot easier than what you could earlier. Or let's go down to like, let's choose these faint ones that you really can't see down there. What we can come and do is we can actually do this on the dark one as well. Just come in and add a bit of pen to the dark strips of our candy striping. And we're just playing around, having a bit of fun. You guys can see how the gel pens work. And look at that. You can now clearly see that better, can't you? Well, not clearly, but you can see it better from far away. It's like, for example, you can't see what I'm doing down here, but if I just come in, I can change just little directional bits and pieces. So you can't actually see the proper full detail there, but when I lift it up, you can. See? So let's put that one back down for a quick second. But so the black and like all the other colors, like this pastel yellow, for example, they pastel purple. Yeah, definitely pastel yellow here, can't you tell? Pastel purple. They immediately rock up. You can immediately see where you've drawn. The white is a little bit different. Let me show you. Just making sure it's fully dry. It is. So when you come and apply the white, so let's do a pattern that I'm going to remember. It's going to look rather faint, especially if you haven't used your pen in a while. It's not going to come out 100% dark, but it's going to get darker in a few minutes. So let me show you. So if I come in, and I just draw them in, you can start to see that they are getting darker as they dry. There is a point, like this one here is now at the full darkness it's ever going to be at. Exactly. So they do take time to show. I often forget this, so don't worry if you do, if you've got one of these and then you're like, oh my gosh, it doesn't work, and you come back after having like a calm down coffee, or for me, a calm down chocolate, or a piece of fruit if you're on a health kick. I completely understand. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh my gosh, I have added way too much gel pen. How did I not see this before? It's because it takes a moment to dry. And I actually really like this fountain pen, so I'm just going to continue. Because all it is a semicircle, a rough circle / oval at the top, and then some ovals matching your curve just after the edge of it. So let's do this again. Semicircle, circle, oval, 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 oval. Look at that. Now you might not be able to see that from far away. Not really, because it's quite a thin pen. You can see the very faint pattern of leaves, which I actually think that faintness is quite cool far away. But what we could also come and do is we could just come in and add a bit of stitching in these holy gap ones. And for example, we could also come in with the black on these blue and purple drip points here. And then just give them a rare bit of body. And then we could come and give this a little bit of body. So I do desperately like those fern patterns. I think I just need to add a small circle of purple like over here, just to add that fern pattern in over here. So I'm just gonna apply a bit of purple to the palette and just come in and make it look like it belongs by using my fingers, spread it out a bit, and then coming in with a little bit of water on my finger. You could do this with a paintbrush. I suggest a flat edged, slightly thick paintbrush. So we've got that bit there now. And then just to balance out what we just did there, because, you know, it's going to take a moment to dry before we can do our ferny pattern over there. Come in and grab our yellow. And this is the dimensional yellow first we're going to do. So the dimensional yellow won't exactly stay opaque on top of other colours. If you want that to happen, you need to apply a white base beforehand. But then we're also going to come in with a fluoro yellow, which will sit on top quite easily. Look at that. None the wiser. There we go. And then this purple has like just a few more seconds left to dry, so we're just going to come in, I think. Let's just make up a pattern over here. I'm feeling like diamonds might be the way to go. If you're unsure, you can grab one of the border stencils and just trace it, one of the bigger stencils. It's up to you. I don't mind sometimes pushing my limits and doing a bit of freehand drawing, but sometimes I do just want a pattern to look nice, even, crafted with care type look, which I'm not going to get by hand most of the time without, you know, some grid paper. So I technically, when I want that to happen, I go and grab one of my stencils and use my stencils. Just to make my life easier. I'm feeling, you know, a bit like freehand tonight. Hard part is knowing when to stop. I normally stop when I reach another color territory, like over here. I've stopped along the line of that purple, we'll call it a spill. It's actually a drip, but it kind of looks like a purple spill, you know? So there's that one. I do think to balance it, I might need another diamond up there. There we go. Very dodgy looking diamond, but it's still a diamond. And then I get these little details you won't see as soon as you look at it. You've got to go looking for them. but it is fun to play around with our journaling pens. And once they're on, I think they're pretty much permanent. I'll come and we'll give it a bit of a test, shall we? I've never actually tried. I normally do this always as the last step. So I don't think I've actually ever tried putting water over top of them. So we'll just double check. If they're not, you can always come in and seal them with a light mist of probably hairspray will do the trick if you're looking for something fast. If not, some varnish. I wouldn't suggest doing that in your art journal though. Definitely would ruin the spine a lot quicker than what you'd want. Also, your art journal would be out of use for several days, waiting for it to fully dry so that it didn't stick in any way, shape, or form. And if you're a bit of a prolific painter, might not be the best idea you could have. Like, you know, up to you. Definitely up to you on that one. So there is our little fernies. As you can see, they're still drying. So this one here, you can slowly see that it's starting to come to full color. But yeah, that is the thing. A lot of people, they get upset with the white journaling pen. It is actually a fantastic white journaling pen. It just takes a while to come up, to dry its natural color, because wine must be a very hard pigment to make into pens, as far as what I know. Right, let's remove that brush before we destroy it and grab a normal paintbrush, because we're going to test the limits of this bad boy. I'm just deciding which one I'd like least. Maybe this blue one up here. So I have wet it. Now let's see what happens when I dry. Like, there's still a little bit of a faintness about it. It's the white paint pen I tried that on, so it might take a few seconds to come back to life. Let's try it on the black. Okay, yeah, definitely a no-go. Okay, so the ink moves a little when you're really back. Like, I'm seriously pushing down on this paintbrush pretty hard to move it. And a little bit of it's moved, but I'm still left with the faint impressions of it. But like, if we were just to run, I need a bit of paint. Grab a bit of pink fluoro down here. So if we were just to run just a little bit of this pink fluoro paint across, see that gel pen doesn't smudge. It doesn't move. It's only when you really work it with a brush on top that you have a little bit of the ink move. But you're still left with the faintness. Like over here with the white, when I first did it, I still have the faint lines I did, but it's not as strong as what it was when you first put it on. So it does move a teensy bit. The very smallest amount. You can tell it with the white, because it's such a light color. Just, you know, as soon as something happens to it, bam, you can tell. What I think this needs, though, is some glitter varnish. I definitely think we need to glitterize this bad boy. Just looking across. Has anyone come up with any names for my koala friend yet? For our koala mascot for tomorrow? That's the, well, you can't really see that one. Hold up. Let me give you a full A5 card. They're called mini pics. Anyone come up with a name yet? Let me get the glitter varnish. Because I definitely think it needs like a bit of a glitz to it. A bit of some glam. Okay, back. Couldn't find the glitter varnish, so up to idea number 2. Number 2 would be glitter paints. Right, there we go. Just splattering it on in a few places. Now it is blue glitter paint, so it's got that blue tinge to it. Just being, what happened to this paintbrush? Let me just come and try and fix my paintbrush. Okay, there we go. Just being teensy bit careful to it. Okay. I do like little sprays of glitter. Meals, have you had a milk? Can you get Noe to get you a milk, please? Do you think... Sorry, I'm just making sure my little sister doesn't use the fact that no one's watching her at the moment. Well, she's practicing clarinet in another room to get out of going to bed on time. My little sister can be a little bit of a con artist when it comes to bedtime. She likes staying up. So let's just grab a bit of this white texture gesso. And do some of our Divots bedroom.
Once you have a milk. Once you make milk, you get me and it's like a mom.
Okay, and then we need
Once you have milk, please then get me and I'm spend a second time to mom.
go. And then I'm just going to come in and phase out some of the divots I did. Quite simple. Rub, rub. I do think I just need a little bit more dimensional yellow in the middle here. Just to make the colour a little bit more stagnant. And then I think we might be finished. So there's like just a few sweet points on this art journal page. Let me lift it up to show you. So we've got Sorry, there we go. We've got the purple there, and then the little flowers. There's the ferns. And our diamonds. So just lots of little yummy moments on our page, and the glitter. Of course, the glitter, when that dries, it's just going to be like clumps of glitter, which will be nice because we'll match in with like the sprays of paint we've done across it. But yeah, that was us. We played. There will be no bundle for tonight because we played with our journaling pens and our 2 different types of paint, dimensional and fluoro colors, just so then you guys could see the types of ins and outs. So thank you all for coming. And yeah, we're cloud making's on Tuesday night this week. Scrapbooking's on Wednesday night in the subscription group. And Friday Night Live on Friday. So look forward. What pens were they again? Oh, sorry. The Juice Up 04 ones. You can't see that one. 1 second. Juice Up 04. There you go. So yes, quite nice. We have nearly every color in them, which is great. And yeah, it's just, I really wanted to show you guys tonight the white one. I get a lot of questions, especially during the summertime, because things start drying quicker for all of us, that we think about adding little details. And these pens are the way to go. Like, paint pens are good, but these ones are a little bit smaller, which is quite nice. Like, you can't really see some of the details, you can see the faintness of them. But yeah, they're beautiful. But yeah, the white one in particular takes just a few moments to show. But if you're like me, who's very impatient, when you're in the zone, you look at it and go, why isn't it showing? What have I done wrong? It's okay. Wait a minute. Then it will work. It will rise, the ink will dry or rise, or however you want to call it. And all of a sudden, you'll have your pattern. It's just what you've got to remember, unfortunately. But thank you all for coming, and yeah, I'll take some really close-up snippets so that you can see the difference between the fluoro and the dimensional as well. I don't think the camera is really doing it justice during the video, but the photos will hopefully show you that as well, just so then you guys can see the different techniques. And you saw, like with these ones here, if you do want to make them flow and drip and all the rest of it, you do have to add that extra water in, because they're a heavy pigment. They have the additives in them to be a fluoro or to be a dimensional acrylic. So just showing you guys that tonight, as it is super hot and it is the night to use lots of water. So thank you all for coming, and have a wonderful week, everyone, and a beautiful pre-Christmas week. Bye.